Hey guys, tonight we descend into something buried deep, not underground, but in time, in memory, and in that stale, silent space between old walls. You're about to hear the kind of story that never made it to the school board minutes. The kind that lives in forgotten maintenance records and the backs of yearbooks, names scratched out, dates too neat to trust. This is the story of an ordinary school lockdown drill that didn't end the way it should have. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And hey, drop your location, your local time, and tell me, what sound unsettles you most? Is it a child's laugh in an empty hallway? The low hum of a TV that isn't on? Now extinguish the lights, perhaps turn on some white noise to mask the sounds beyond your window, and let's descend into tonight's journey together. It starts on a gray Wednesday, the kind that smells like dry markers and cold tile floors. You're in the back hallway of your high school, the one they never renovated. The air here is somehow heavier and the lights flicker longer before they commit to turning on. The morning intercom crackles. Lockdown drill? This is only a drill. Doors click, teachers hustle students into corners, lights dim, but you're not in a classroom. You had a late hall pass. The door behind you is locked, the one in front, jammed, so you slip into the stairwell. Third floor. The floor with the old bell tower no one talks about anymore. No classes are held up here, just storage. Forgotten trophies, stacks of 90s textbooks, and then it rings. The bell, once, long and low like it's underwater. No one believes you at first. Bells don't ring anymore, not since they converted everything to digital. And especially not that bell. It's been sealed off for at least 30 years. The rope was removed. The stairs blocked off with layers of plaster and pipe. Still, it rang. You wait, breath held, nothing else. Just that one single toll. But then it starts. A draft? No, it's too deliberate to be a draft. It feels like breath against your ear, like someone exhaling very slowly behind you. You spin. Nothing. Then footsteps, too soft for sneakers, too light for boots. They scrape gently across the dust-laden linoleum. It's like you're not the only one stuck out here during the drill. The silence grows thicker. It has texture now, like felt pressed against your skin. You hear something again, a whisper, not words. Just a tone, like the faintest echo of a lullaby sung in reverse. You think about the stories. Every school has them. Some kid in the 50s who fell from the tower. A janitor who vanished during summer cleaning. That one substitute no one ever saw leave. Urban legend stuff. Except this doesn't feel like a story. Down the hall, the lockers are lined like metal coffins. You notice one slightly ajar, even though they're all supposed to be locked during drills. You close it. Instinct maybe, or guilt. Inside, a single scrap of notebook paper, scrawled in pencil as if someone wrote it mid-panic. Do not listen to her. She lies when she's quiet. The overhead lights buzz, you look up, and for the briefest second they don't flicker, they breathe. A slow pulse in and out in rhythm with something you can't see. Your phone buzzes, one new voicemail, weird. There's no signal during lockdowns. You hit play, static at first. Then your name, whispered, drawn out, almost sung. You freeze, then the unmistakable creak of a door behind you. But there are no doors behind you, only a wall. You inch closer. Your hand brushes it, and suddenly it isn't smooth. There's an edge, a seam. A hidden panel like a dumbwaiter's door built into the brick, and right behind that panel, footsteps, slow, deliberate. As if they know you're the only one up here, you back away. The intercom crackles again, but this time the voice isn't your principal, it's a child. You're not hiding right. There's a long pause, then a giggle, distorted, mechanical, like someone dragging a fingernail across an old cassette. And then nothing, silence again, but now it's angry, the kind of silence that presses into you. That shrinks the walls, that knows your name even when you forget your own. You run, you don't know why, you just run. Down the long hallway past the abandoned lockers back into the stairwell. And you hear it again. The bell, only now it's faster, shorter rings, no rhythm, no order. Like it's panicking, you throw yourself against the lower stairwell door. Locked, you pound, scream, but no one comes. The drill is still going, and the bell. The bell is right above you now, no longer ringing, breathing, you swear it. There's a moment, just one, when you look up and see a shape move past the tower window. A silhouette. Something impossibly tall. It turns to look down at you, then it's gone. The lights go out, and the whispers come back, but they are not behind you this time. They are inside your head, and you realize the lockdown drill isn't over. Not until she says so. You don't move. Can't. The whispers hum just below thought, threading through your skull like cold breath through an open grave. They don't sound like language anymore, more like memories badly translated. You taste chalk on your tongue, feel dust beneath your fingernails, the air in the stairwell shifts. You smell something faint, floral almost, like dried lilies crushed between book pages. Grief's perfume. Then footsteps again. Only this time you know where they are coming from, not behind the wall. Above, up the sealed staircase that leads to the bell tower, you glance up. There shouldn't be light. The tower's been sealed for decades, but there it is. a sickly gray glow leaking from the cracks in the plaster overhead like a wound slowly weeping open. You press your hand against the wall. The seam you found earlier, it's wider now. As if it's responding to you, inviting you, you push. The panel groans and gives. Behind it, a narrow, curling staircase coated in years of grime. Dust motes drift like slow-moving insects through the stale air. Each step you take echoes, but not the way it should. Your footfalls repeat out of sync like someone walking almost in tandem with you just a half-second behind. You climb. Halfway up, you pass graffiti etched into the brick. She rings for the ones who listen. I did. I wish I hadn't. It gets colder. You don't know how that's possible. You're sweating and shivering at the same time, and then you hear it. A chime, not a bell, a music box, just a few notes, familiar but wrong. A lullaby you feel like you heard once, maybe in a dream, maybe in a fever, maybe in this place. You reach the top. The tower room yawns open in front of you, circular and blackened with age. The bell looms overhead, enormous and corroded, slung from rusted beams. Its rope is gone, but something about it feels tense, as if it's been wrung recently. The floor is littered with detritus, cracked shoes, school ID cards, torn strips of old uniforms, some recent, some from decades long past. In the center of the room stands a desk. A single school desk bolted into the floor, on top a cassette recorder, already playing, your voice, reciting names, not people you know, but each name cuts, like you should remember them, like you promised to remember them. Then you hear it, her voice again. One more, you. Behind you, air stirs, something tall, you don't look, you shouldn't look, but you do. She's not entirely there. Her shape flickers like footage projected onto smoke. A young girl in an old uniform, gray jumper, knees mudded, hair thick with cobwebs. Her eyes are wide, almost blank, but full of that strange, agonizing curiosity you only see in things that were once human but aren't anymore. Her mouth doesn't move, but her voice scrapes inside your skull. Did you hear it? You nod, the bell, the whispers. You heard it all. She smiles. A terrible, broken smile. Not angry, not malicious, just relieved, and she fades. You're alone, but now something's different. The cassette recorder keeps spinning, though it's silent now. The light from the tower window fades, and for the first time you notice what's scrawled into the underside of the desk. Lockdown ends when all are accounted for. And below that, not all who went missing were taken. Something deep inside you clicks. This wasn't a lockdown for you. It was because of you. You were the last, the final name. You descend the staircase slowly. The school is still silent, still dark. But now the silence feels satisfied. You reach the hallway again. No whispers, no breathing walls, just your footsteps. You pass the lockers, still shut tight, except one, the same one, open. Inside now, a photo, your class, everyone accounted for, except one figure in the back row, blurred, distorted, where your face should be. You blink. The photo vanishes. You look again, nothing. A low chime echoes faintly behind you. Not the bell, not the music box. A phone. You glance at your lock screen, new voicemail. You don't want to listen, but you do. It's your voice again, not recorded, speaking now. You weren't supposed to leave. Click, the lights come back on. The principal's voice returns. Lockdown drill complete. Resume normal schedule. You exhale, but something in you knows. You never really left the tower, not completely. You walk back toward class. No one notices your shaking hands. No one asks where you've been, and from high above, the bell stays silent. But only for now. It always rings again when someone's not hiding right. The school feels normal again. Laughter in the cafeteria, the slam of locker doors, teachers rushing students along. But you walk the halls like a shadow now, not quite touching the world around you. Your shoes scuff against linoleum that feels colder than before. The air always a little too still, as if the building holds its breath whenever you pass. You glance at the bell tower window sometimes. Just a habit, you never see anything. But once, just once, you think you caught a reflection in the glass, not of the tower, but of yourself, sitting at that desk. Still, pale, listening. The bell hasn't rung since, not out loud, but in the quiet moments between the flick of the classroom lights and the start of the next lesson, between the last footstep in the hall and the click of the door behind you, you can hear it. A low hum, a breath waiting to become sound. Sometimes, you see people stop mid-step, tilt their heads as if they've heard something, and then shake it off. They didn't, but you did. The whispers come at night now. They slip into your dreams, curled like ribbons through the static of sleep. Always the same voice, always the same question. Did you hear it? You never answer. You know better now. Some things, once acknowledged, don't stop calling. They wait. They remember. They ring only for those who listened. So tonight, as you turn off your light and lie back in bed, maybe you'll think of that school. Of old stairwells, of sealed towers. And if you ever hear a bell, faint and distant in the dark, don't follow it. Not unless you're ready to be counted. Forever.